Assalamualaikum to Dr. Nazir. Wish you have a great day today. We are from Section 1, subject Real Estate Law, BPE 12603. For this group assignment, we was decide to choose the title Determination of the Employment Contract during the pandemic. First of all, may I intro myself. My name is Anur Adila Menti Ahmad, and the other group member is Amirah Zulika binti Abdul Malak and Aisyah Asadiyah binti Abdul Aziz. This presentation was contains with introduction, topic or themes, subtopic or subthemes, and the last one is conclusion. Okay, for the first one is introduction. As we know, separation from employment is the definition termination of employment, and this termination can be voluntary by the employee's destination or involuntary, that is a destination. When employer fire an employee, it can be because some of a reason, such as because of the economy, unacceptable performance, and others. Termination of employer was happened in a long time ago, but nowadays we have a pandemic, and this termination of employees will happen so rapidly. In section 12 of the Employment Act 1955, when employee is termination of the contract, they should give a due notice for inform of them to say intention or justification. Following the global spread of coronavirus, or we know it as COVID-19, not only small business but some of a bigger company was also affected, such as Asia Berhad also was announcement about a termination of employment contract. Ria Asma, as executive official, was saying that situation faced by Asia Berhad was extremely difficult, and to alleviate the difficult time, he decided to terminate some of employment service in part, such as a flight attendants, pilots, and engineer. And as we know, Malaysia has a labor law that we protect the dismissal of employee unfairly. All employer and employee in Malaysia are governed under this labor law, which is Employment Act 1955 and the Industrial Relations Act 1967. In this pandemic, the termination of the employment contract usually happen to everyone, regardless of background, age, and position. Next is topic or themes. In this word rule, when we want to terminate an employment contract, it is impossible before the end of the contract. But the employer has a right to terminate their employee, and they must do it based on a legal reasoning and with a valid reason. Statute, the just cause or excuse is not stated. Okay, as we know, this global coronavirus pandemic was hampered a lot of activity economies, and it also was affected the employees until a few of industry do terminate the employment contract.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisyah Asadiyah binti Abdul Aziz, biometric number AP210358. I will continue the presentation about subtopic or sub-theme. First, employer prerogative in the employment of employees. The employer has the prerogative to hire any suitable person as an employee in exchange for a salary for the service of labor provided. Note, the union of employees may include matters relating to termination of employment by an employer on the grounds of the excess manpower, reorganization of profession, business, trade, or criteria for termination in its proposal for collective agreements according to Section 33 of the Industrial Relations Act 1967 APP. The court held in the matter of Tamabalan Supervalia versus MSL Travel SDN BHD, award number 3081 of 2019, that the employer must provide compelling proof that a labor overload existed and that the employer took reasonable steps to justify the dismissal. Meanwhile, in Tak Sohail vs Puncak Nagara Construction SDM BHD 2020 2LNS 893, the court determined that the employer had succeeded in showing the existence of an overwork condition to warrant layoff after analysing the facts and documentary evidence. Next, last in, first out, LIFO. The LIFO, last in, first out approach is a useful way to solve the problem of redundancy-related retrenchment. In the case of Alam Arena Management and SDM BHD v. Nur Fazila Suri in Anno 2011, 1 ILR 590, the court held that when determining an employee's seniority, the employer should select the employee to be dismissed in the same category rather than based on the length of service of all employees in different categories. On the other hand, the LIFO concept is not used as a criterion for terminating workers in Sarawak Shell BHD vs Ismail Sahad in OS 2002, 2 ILR 371 and Kod Lamsi vs Hansan Quarry Productions SDM BHD 2014, 2 LNS 1152 because the employer has compelling grounds to depart from the principle. Last, scheme of voluntary retrenchment. The scheme is not something new or unusual in our country. In fact, most countries adopt it when an organization does not have the ability to continue cooperation at an optimal human resource rate. The Industrial Code defines many elements in respect to voluntary severance scheme in Mulari Taranai anak lelaki C Narayana Ne versus HLMG Management CO SDM BHD Award 276 of 2020. There is a consensual agreement between the parties who intend to participate in voluntary termination or voluntary separation, mutual separation, and B. There is no factors that may influence the employee's decision, such as compulsion, fraud, or intimidation. As a result, individuals are unable to submit an unfair dismissal complaint with the Department of Industrial Relations unless the elements stated above are present.
Loss is inevitable, especially when the COVID-19 pandemic was something beyond human expectation, and no one else expected COVID-19 have such a great impact, especially on the industry and the economy. However, the employers must act to address the problem of the surplus workers as best as they can. Strategic planning from the employer will assist employers and employees in maintaining the harmony of industrial relations and the national economy. Employers must know and understand the effect that employees will go through if they were laid off as a result of overstaffing. Retrenched employees will experience psychological stress, financial problems, health problems, and disability issues house. Therefore, the prerogative powers inherent in the employer must be exercised transparently, and the employer shall work with employees to minimize the rate of employee turnover. If the employer dismisses the employee without complying with the provisions of the law and malafide, it will bring repercussion to the employers, as the employee can take legal actions for unfair dismissal, such as Section 20 APP 1967. Finally, despite of prerogative, employers are urged to act following the law so that an atmosphere of harmony in industrial relations between employers and employees always exists. Meanwhile, employees are also advised to be positive and accept the reality concerning retrenchment due to overwork during the COVID-19 pandemic.